The story I'm about to tell us is a very sad one. It's a story of how my pastor encouraged me to divorce my husband. And after I heeded that advice, he started mocking me.
Life is so private that many of you under my comment section telling me Adadiche go and marry, you are old cargo. Some of them even call me unfruitful lady. Some say Adadiche go and marry, you don't old. Life is so private that many of you don't know that I was married. I left my husband's house because of the preaching of Pastor Lazarus Mochukoka. That fateful day, I was in the church working as a worker. I'm under crowd control department. I was working when I heard during the time of salvation message, when I heard Pastor Lazarus said that if you are second, third, or fourth wife, pack your bag and baggages, go back to your father's house, that you are not married. That if you have married second or third or fourth wife, send them home, send them to their father's house, because you will not make heaven.
If you're a second wife or third wife or fourth wife, you have no husband. Pack your load and go. You marry three, two, remove the second and third one. Till it's clear, do your part with the first wife and men or the first husband. I mean their ways. Tomorrow may be too late.
That fateful day, I became very weak. I went home that day. My former husband did not do me anything. He did not beat me. He did not insult me. Because of the preaching of the pastor, because I wanted to make heaven then, thinking, because they will tell you if you're a worker, that you pray something did not happen, you should believe maybe there is sin that you committed that is hiding you. And I believe that time that as a child of God, I want to make heaven. I don't want anything that will stop me from making heaven. So that preaching touched me that day. I get home. I called the man. I told him, look at what my pastor said. He said no, that it will not happen. This is just something that a man just stand on his pulpit making his money. I said no, I want to make heaven. That is how I packed my bag and baggages. I left the man house. The man tried his possible best to reconcile, but because I was a worker, I even meet my branch pastor then for Elasa, Pastor Cone. I explained everything to him. He said that this is the perfect thing to do, that God is going to give me another husband. Since then, I've been waiting. I did not see another husband till I left the church. Now, many of you are under my comment section insulting me. The one that pains me most is this pastor that knows my story. Many of them know my story very well, and they still come and insult me to go and marry. The one that pains me most is this pastor, Pastor Chigozie. Anytime I drop a video, you come under my comment section and say, Akuna, go and marry. Now that your pastor, his first wife and his second wife don't join their ancestors, tell him to come and marry me, because he is the reason why I left my husband's house. His preaching is the reason why I left my husband's house. Was thinking I want to make heaven. I've encountered many things when I was a Christian, especially when I'm in choosing. I was in choosing then. But this particular one hit me so hard. This particular one hit me so hard. I am going to tell my story, what made me leave choosing church. I am going to tell the story, the reality that hit me, that made me to leave the church. Many people don't know the reason why I left the church. I am going to explain it.
Life is so private. I was so committed in church. I was very, I was that kind of person that whatever the pastor says, I would do, because I believe that the mouthpiece of God and they hear from God. So whatever comes out from the pulpit, I believe it's just what God wanted. And he's saying that through the pastor. So I obeyed my pastor, what he said. But what stunned me is the fact that they turned back to making mockery of the situation. If I had known what I know today, I don't think I would I would have followed what he said. And very importantly, my pastor today has buried two wives. And why is he not going to make hell? Because he said if you're married as a second wife, you are going to make hell. You're not going to go to heaven. But he has had a second wife. So there is a mix up here. It's either this woman, this woman's husband had a wife, maybe divorced, and she was approached and she married, or the first wife died, or the man is still married, and you know what we have today, the woman decides to go in as a second wife. But in this situation too, my pastor has lost his first wife and has also lost a second wife. So what do we call that? Are we not in the same boat? So this story is to teach you that sometimes you have to be very careful what you hear from the pulpit. Yes, they are man of God, but take note, man of God. They are first man before hearing from God. So there might be a conflict at times with what they say. And it has to sit well with your spirit, even if that is what they have said. You have to be very careful to know what you're following. I've heard a man of God told me, he said, after God, it's me. After God, anything else, before you tell your husband, tell me, talk to me first. I did it for some time and then I realized that this was wrong, right? But I now understood that there is a bit of selfishness with what he said, because he wanted to gain a lot of upper hand. I was that committed church member. I was very loyal. I was very open. I was very plain. I was very sincere. So he was saying that to get me more, right? But that is not what God wants. After God is the family. If your family is not working well, if you're not having peace in your family, you cannot do ministry properly. But that was what this man of God told me, and I did it for some time, right? So as members, as people that believe in ministry. No, these are the exercises that would make people one day when they feel like they're caged and they want to let loose, they will just start talking rubbish about the church. But I'm not here to talk anything negative about the church. I'm only saying be careful what you hear from the people because they are first man, they're first human before hearing from God. And the best thing you can do for yourself is to hear God for yourself. It is not wrong for you to also heed their advice, but you have the Spirit of God, and the Spirit of God can bear witness with your own spirit if what they're saying is true. And if you have any iota of doubt, you can pause for a while before taking that decision. Today, she's not married. Today, she's having the mockery. Today, the man that told her to divorce the husband has also lost the wife, the second wife. So, how do you juxtaposition? How do you balance those two, right? So, guys, what do you think about this whole video? I would like us to drop our comments. Let's talk about it. Have you had any situation where a pastor urged you to do something that somehow you knew, you believed him at first, and later you realized that this thing was basically born out of flesh? Or have you had a situation where um, what he told you, a pastor told you to do something, and at the end of the day, realize that what he was telling you was basically lies? They're human beings and they can make mistakes. If you have such experience, you can share in the comments, right? Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel to get more information and be the first to know anytime I drop a new video. God bless you and see you in my next gist and experience. Bye.